How's everybody doing? Just thought I'd come on and see what everybody was up to on this beautiful Saturday. Is anybody out there today? Want to chat? Discuss a few things? I'm on live. Come on in. Come on. Be glad to welcoming anybody with any questions today. Anybody want to come on and say anything, or has anybody noticed how bad that Maddie has been looking? She is not looking really good. I'm going to try to do a interview with her. I am emailing her today to see if we can't get that set up. I'd like to do an interview. I've got some questions for her. I wanted to just come on and ask that if anybody has any questions for Maddie, to email me at chosenOneandHisGirls@yahoo.com. Hello, Diane. How are you? Good to see you. It's wonderful to see you. Now, I plan on doing a one-on-one interview with Maddie as soon as I get all the details of when we're going to do it. I will make sure that I post it on my community so that everyone has the opportunity to view it. I've noticed there's a lot of bickering going on in the community between several people. I know I really enjoy the Tiny Butterfly, and everybody has poked and pondered at her to the point where Jules had left, and I'm glad she's back. I enjoyed watching her out in Camden. I enjoyed the interviews they had with those girls out there. Phoenix was one of the funny characters I really enjoyed out there. Howdy, howdy. How are you? Good to see you guys. I also noticed that SB and SG are really at it. You know, it's sad to watch people come apart like they do on YouTube. The friendships that are made here does not seem to be real. They just don't. They don't last. You know, when I forge a friendship with someone, whether it be on YouTube or in real life, I'd like for it to be a real friendship. And that night, I happened to have been in the room listening to what was going on. And I saw that SG was trying to take the time to show the person she was talking to that she did care. And as Sharon entered the room, she was very demanding that SG go ahead and get the commentary. In my opinion, I think SG was finishing out her conversation. I don't think that she was deliberately being mean to Sharon. I think what she was doing was trying to end it as quickly as possible and move on to the commentary. But Sharon just was so impatient and very pushy, in my opinion. But I will say this in her defense. When you plan something with someone, you know, and people are there to see it, you should, you know, be on point with it. But apparently that night, SG had came over to Sharon's live or to Sharon's channel and told her she wanted her to go do this like right then, and did not want to wait for Sharon to do her live. So I think it's just a bit of miscommunication, but it shouldn't have went so far as it did. But what are your thoughts on Sharon seeing Irv again? That's the thing that I do not get. She all but said this man physically abused her. And if that was the case, then why would she be having dinner with her abuser? Does that make any sense to you guys? It doesn't to me. And she has done video after video talking about this man like he is absolutely nothing. And then to go and spend a weekend, and I'm sorry, I think that she reached out to Irv because she doesn't have any money coming in. And she saw him as a source of money before. And I honestly believe that's exactly what she's after again. She also goes into Maddie's chats, and she is trying to befriend Maddie, and Maddie doesn't want anything to do with her. Maddie does not like Sharon, and there's many reasons why. I mean, she has put Maddie down like Maddie is nothing but a dog. And for her to do that, knowing that she's the same way, she has the exact same problem Maddie has. She's just lucky enough that she has a friend who has a bando who allows her to live in it. That's the only difference between Sharon and Maddie. And what would Sharon be doing if she had no place to stay? She says she never was a streetwalker. Well, what would she be doing if she didn't have Ron's bando to live in? And, you know, that's the way I see it. Yep, I agree. She should be a lot nicer. But she goes into these people's chats, and what she's doing is trying to figure out who is sponsoring Maddie, who is sending Maddie money. Because those are the people that Sharon is concerned with talking to. Because she wants to get them over to her channel so that she can take money from them. And I don't think that's right. I mean, if they're not going to your channel, why go over and try to make yourself out to be something different when you're doing the exact same drug, you're living the exact same lifestyle, but you're just doing it in a different way? And I'm sorry, if you're going out with Irv, what has Irv always went after, guys? It's never been the good girl behind the counter at Macy's, huh? It's always been the hooker. So, if you're aligning yourself with this type of people, then apparently you are that type of person. That's the way I see that. I noticed she came on and had quite a bit to say about me collecting cards and different scraps. Apparently she doesn't know what a junk journal is, guys. A junk journal is where you use what you have around the house. And I think Shady, it would do her real good to do a journal. You're right, Ganja Granny. People do have a right to privacy in their own home. But when you put yourself out here on YouTube as one person, and then you're caught being totally opposite of what you say, then what's your opinion? Is it private? It's what you put out, I believe, that's allowed. You know, if you put things out here yourself on YouTube, that's one thing. But when people start going into your personal business, your personal life, putting your personal information up for the world to see, I think that's when the line should be drawn. You know, if you got to dox somebody to get them back, you're not that good, in my opinion. Exactly. Exactly right. I mean, you should not be in somebody else's business if they've not put it out there themselves. We all have lives. You know, that's why I went so far to cover up who I am. Because, you know, you don't want people calling your job. You don't want people showing up at your house uninvited because you have an enemy on YouTube who has broadcasted all your business. You know, that to me is not playing fair. You know, if I've done something to you, you're more than welcome to come at me. But don't use my job, don't use my home address, don't put that stuff up there just to be trying to get even. That's just not fair. That's not the way to do it. You know, I really enjoy YouTube, and I love going to all the different ones, chats in our community. I like to go over and listen to Bobbles. I like to go over and listen to NetNet. I enjoy Lou. I enjoy Chosen One Rejects. I watch Chicken Winter sometimes. There's another one that is in the middle of some conflict right now. I think Chicken Winter wants to like people for who they are. And none of us are going to be perfect all the time. We're all going to say things sometimes that's going to piss somebody off. But does that mean you don't like them? Does that mean that you just don't like them? Or is it that you just didn't like what they had to say at the moment? You know, it makes hard for the viewers out there watching us and, you know, having to pick a side. Well, with me, you don't have to pick a side. You're welcome over here, even if you're a Sharon fan. You're welcome over here. If you're a Maddie fan, you're welcome over here. If you're a Chicken Winter fan, I'm not going to sit and try to tell you where you go. Well, I'd rather not move my camera because I don't have anything really to show you in here right now. I would if I did, but right now I don't. We all come on here and we've all got a beef with somebody. Every one of us. But I try to stay neutral. I try not to take sides with people unless they're doing something directly to me. And I tell you why. I was told that I was being blocked just because I was on what I considered a friend's chat and made some statements about Sharon in the comments. I was told I was being blocked for that. Well, I don't think that's right. Why would you take somebody else's side in a situation like that unless you know the details? Why are you going to block me? Why didn't you block us both if that was what you were going to do? But that's not what you chose to do. Well, I noticed you came back and unblocked me. For what purpose? For what purpose? I don't like that, just like, for instance, in the situation with SG and SV. How many of you are picking sides? I don't think you should. That's an argument between the two of them. Let it stay there. Let it stay right where it rests. You shouldn't, stop being friends with one or the other. They've not done anything to you. Of course, if you want to voice your opinion, I see nothing wrong with that. And if the one of the two get mad, oh, so well, so be it. Let them be the one to decide whether they want to block you. Let them be the one. That will show you who is who in your life. I've not blocked anybody on here that has a channel that I have any type of dealings with. I've been blocked from SG's chat, and I'll tell you why. I came out and I said exactly what she done, and she does not want me in her chat telling people about it. She went on because I made a video one night and said what I would do if I were being bullied, and told I was telling a lie about having cancer. And she got mad about it, that I said that, what I would do. I didn't tell her she had to do that. I was saying what I would do if I were in her shoes, okay? She decided to go and say that I must be on pills. Well, that's not a very nice thing to be putting out into the world, because that is something that I done way back when. I no longer do. It's been 20 years, and I don't need that sort of thing being spread around as if it were a fact. And when I called her out on it, I was blocked from her channel. She was only playing pieces of my video. Pieces of it, and then stopping it before the whole sentence would be said, so that she could turn the narrative into something that was completely different from what I was saying. That's what I don't like. If you're too scared to have me in your chat, you must be lying, honey. I'm also blocked from Sharon. She blocked me as well, because she thinks it's okay to sit up there and talk shit about people, but they're not supposed to be able to comment back to her. I don't think that's fair play. If I'm on here talking about you, the least I can do is give you the opportunity to respond. And I don't mind it if you do, because number one, I'm not going to get on here and tell a bald-faced lie on somebody. And number two, if there's a discrepancy in what I'm saying, I want you to point it out, because I would never want to be on here telling something about somebody that was not true. Never. I don't think that's right. If you've got to make up something about somebody, then you don't have a channel to start with. And that's what makes me so upset with Sharon. She gets on here and she makes statements about people that are not true. She's got poor Maddie looking like she's at death's door. Well, maybe she is. But, honey, you're no better off. You're doing the same thing every day. You're sticking that thing in your arm and putting those horrible, horrible drugs in your system. And you've been doing this for how long? 28 years. It's time to grow up and get responsible for your life. But instead of doing that, you're trying to be responsible for Maddie's. Maddie don't need your help. You need your help. You need to get into rehab. You need to get mental health and move forward while you still have a few years left that you can do something with your life. But to hear you on here talking about Maddie needing to get help and you want so much for her, why wouldn't you want it for yourself if you're such a good person? That's what I have to say. You know, you don't have any room to talk about anybody if you're not doing anything to get your own life straight. And I sure wouldn't come on here wanting somebody to get clean if I was sitting here doing the same damn drug they're doing. That's just bullshit. It's bullshit all the way around. And none of us are perfect. And like I said, at some point in time, every one of us is going to piss somebody off. But you won't hear me pissing somebody off by telling a lie. I can promise you that. Guys, later on tonight, I'm going to come back on with we're going to talk a little bit about journaling. I'm not sure exactly what time, but I've gotten quite a few new supplies and a couple of new planners, and I'm going to show you a little bit of stuff I've done in mine. And we're just going to start journaling. And we're going to journal together. I noticed that there was not a video about that on here. It's more or less flip throughs. And, you know, we all need to put our heads together and put some ideas together and see what we can come up with to journal. You know, I'm going to have several journals. I'm going to have a junk journal. I'm going to have a brain dump journal. I'm going to have what I call my personal journal. And then I'm going to have a family journal. I'm going to see about doing 3 or 4 different types of journaling. And we'll talk more about that later on. I'll have to get my supplies out and see if I can't fix it up to where that you can see what I'm doing as I do it. Guys, I think this is going to be one of my better. Hi, Christy. How are you? One of my better things that I'm going to start doing on here. And if any of you have a story to tell about addiction, please feel free to email me. My email is thechosen1 at yahoo.com. That's wrong. Chosen1 and his girls at yahoo.com. I'll put that up on the about if any of you want to send me a story. But I like to come on here and tell stories that I have witnessed myself. I've got a good one that I'm going to tell you about tonight. It's about a boy on methamphetamine and where he is today, where he started at. It's really a sad story. I'm trying right now to see if there's any possible way that we can get him some help. You know, doing that thing where you involuntary commit somebody, unless they are seen for more than a few minutes by a doctor, a lot of times they just turn them right back out in the streets, and the family doesn't know what to do. Guys, it's hard. The boy has charges, and his father is going to try to address the judge in the case and see if they won't court order him into mental health. I know that in North Carolina there's a thing where in for 90 days, and I'm not real sure exactly how to get that ball rolling, but if any of you guys know anything about that in North Carolina, please let me know, because this father is really going through it. He lives with his dad, but he's become violent. He's breaking things. He's a danger to himself because he is so gullible. I mean, you could tell him that somebody was going to deliver him an ice cream truck, but he had to sit on the porch until he got there. This boy would do that, and that makes him a danger to himself all along. I mean, anybody, and he gets a little check every month, and it's just sad. He gets a check. People are going and trying to figure out a way to get $1 out of him, and I'm scared that somebody's going to overdose him just thinking they can get in his pocketbook, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm very concerned about that. So anybody having any information as to how you can force mental health, get somebody hospitalized and get them the help they need, please comment below and let me know what I can do to help this person. They contacted me, reached out to me. I actually went, I met the boy. He's a nice young man, but he started doing methamphetamine, and he's turned into somebody who hears voices. Some of these voices he gets along with them, some of them he don't. He argues with the voices. He has decided that he's dying, that he has leukemia, that he's got throat cancer. I mean, he really believes these things. He believes what the people the voices he hears are telling him. And it's a very dangerous thing. So if any of you guys know anything, any kind of assistance I could offer as far as this goes, I really would appreciate your input on this. This is in North Carolina. I'm kind of trying to study up and see what the rules are for making somebody get mental health there. I'm not real sure about it all, but any help you guys can give me, I would appreciate. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. I'm going to hop off here now and see if I can get my journal stuff out so I can come back on after a while and we can discuss